everyone. Welcome to Elevating Your Life. I am just so happy today to share you with an amazing guest. We have with us today uh, Dr. Dravon James. She is the founder and director of Everyday Peace. She is the author of the new book, Forgiveness, The Pathway to Happiness, and Freedom is Your Birthright. She is host of the Dr. Dravon James Everyday Peace on Mind, Body, Spirit FM. She's a coach on the SiriusXM Road Dog Trucking Show and an actress whose career credits include a recurring role on HBO's acclaimed The Wire. A leader in the healthcare industry for more than 3 decades, she is the recipient of the Secretary McDonough Coin of Recognition for her leadership efforts to combat the COVID pandemic. As the founder of the Next Step Leadership Academy, Dr. Dravon uses the training and experience to lead women to their next level of greatness in life and business using the power of everyday peace. And Dr. Dravon's journey began in poverty on the south side of Chicago. Though she had always dreamt of a career on the stage, she went on to earn a doctorate in pharmacy from the Creighton University and has worked as a pharmacist all her adult life. You are so awesome, my friend.
You,
Welcome.
you are very kind. Thank you.
Oh, I'm just so honored to have you on the show. Oh my goodness. Well, first off, is there any more background you'd like to share, and then maybe get into kind of this new latest book on forgiveness and what triggered you to write that?
Yeah, so no more background. Just a huge thank you to you and your platform. I am honored to call you a friend and a colleague. I've been on your show a few times, and I always, as I said before we came on, it's a safe, happy space to be in. So I'm happy to be here to share with all of your audience and what prompted me to write this book on forgiveness. For years, this is a tiny book. It's under 100 pages or just 100 pages. And for years, I wanted to write it, but I had the trifecta of unfortunate events occur in my life around the year of 2015. Uh, Health issue, lost a job, and a 20-year marriage began to make a rapid decline into divorce. And as you can imagine, uh, my everything that I believed about life was being tested. I found myself to be in despair about a lot of things, but at the same time, I found this flicker of hope and happiness inside of me. And I questioned that, like, what in the world do you have to be happy and hopeful for? And it caused me to do a lot of soul searching, and that's how the my first book, "Freedom Is Your Birthright," came about. And as I progressed through this, what I call the trifecta of pain in my life, um, I started reevaluating a lot of other things in my life. And as a life coach for many years, self awareness is something that I really am big on with my clients and with myself. I started to re examine my forgiveness process, and I discovered some things that were not so healthy for me. And I just started doing intense research and saying, where can I improve? And started working with my clients and forgiveness. And voila, through that research, self awareness, working with clients, I said, I bet you this may be helpful to at least one other person. So I went on to write a book and a workbook on the topic of forgiveness, the pathway to happiness, because it truly is. Unforgiveness, I believe, is like having a chain, ball and chain, if you will, strapped around your neck, which keeps you from soaring to your highest heights in your health, your wealth, your relationships, um, and your life experiences. So why not cut that ball and chain loose and move on and soar to our highest heights? So that was my motivation behind writing the book. That's how I got started on a series. I've always wanted to write about forgiveness, but through that, what I call my trifecta of pain, it really came to fruition.
Yes, and there is so much to be gained, isn't there, when we find forgiveness and are able to, you know, have forgiveness for others? Like, how would you say what that does and how that has to do with our self-awareness and what did that do for us?
Oh my goodness. When we can really look at how we forgive or how we hold on to unforgiveness, right? It really frees us up to see ourselves better. And I'll use myself as an example because that's a safe example to use. One thing I discovered about myself as I went through and asked the hard questions and looked at the painful parts of my life, and we'll talk about that in a minute, how to look at the painful parts of your life. But I looked at the painful parts in my life and I said, how are you on this topic? How does it make you feel? And I felt in my solar plex, in my gut area, that, oops, that's still really tender. That spot really, really hurts. And it caused a cascade of pain inside of me. And I just started to ask why questions like, why does that still hurt? What's the story that you're telling yourself about that? And what I discovered for me personally is that although I had a great forgiveness for other people, I had unforgiveness for myself. I wasn't aware of that. I wasn't aware of that, that I was holding myself to an impossible standard and saying to myself, well, you can forgive the other person. I talk about that in the beginning of the book and how through self awareness and going back and asking just why questions and how does this feel and why does it feel that way? I discovered that I developed that as a coping mechanism to forgive other people. I really thought that was the healthy thing to do, forgive them and hold it on myself to make myself a better person. Well, unforgiveness does not make you a better person. Right? It
Yes.
really blocks a lot of your, if I can use the word freely, blessings, a lot of your good things in
Mhm.
life. So, really taking that deep dive, being able to and being willing to look yourself directly in the mirror and say, I'm going to love you, Dravon, or you insert your name there, no matter what we find here. Okay?
Yes.
No matter what we find here, it's not going to shake my love for you. What self awareness does for you is improve your trust, your self trust. And that's so important.
I love that. I love that. Because would you say that, we can manifest inside us self-doubt and insecurity and all those things and hold them in?
Yeah, we can hold it in, and it's a mound and a mound. But here's the great thing about forgiveness is that nobody can block us from doing that. We don't need another person to practice forgiveness. I love that for us is that we can make that decision. We can make the decision and execute the decision all by ourselves. So the only block is for us to decide that is this a good healthy thing for me? And that's the first question I work through with my clients is to say, do you believe that forgiveness would be healthy for you? I'm not asking about the other person. I'm just asking for you. And sometimes we have to work backwards. I said, tell me how unforgiveness is helping you. What do you believe about unforgiveness that is helping you? And we work through those myths. And then we come to a place, well, gosh, it's not really helping me. Okay, let's talk about how, are you ready to explore how forgiveness could help you? Independent, because forgiveness is really a selfish act. It is an act of self trust that leads to self love for you. So we have to ask that question. Are you ready to explore how forgiveness would help
Oh, I love that. I love that because, you know, I I could see, thinking myself, there can be times where I don't even consider what forgiving myself. I'm thinking so outside of me and outside the box when, I may hold things in that, oh, I wish I'd done better and not forgiving myself.
you? Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of us are so hard on ourselves. And it's interesting because what we sort of don't realize, and I'm saying sort of to be very mild and loving, but what we don't realize is that we are teaching others how to treat us, how to respond to us by how we treat and respond to ourselves. We're kind of attracting that. So when we say to ourselves, and I'll use myself as an example, when I say to myself that, oh, Dravon, I withhold with forgiveness for this act from you. You're going to have to get better about this before I will relinquish you from, this penalty of unforgiveness. Then I attract other people in my life who hold unforgiveness in their heart for me as well. Is when I say, I forgive you. I forgive you for that. It doesn't mean I absolve myself of the responsibility to get better, to improve. No, it gives me the opportunity to say, you are loved. This is a safe space that I've created for myself within myself to forgive myself and to go on and learn how to do better. Now I'm attracting people into my life who say, well, I forgive you too. I
Yeah.
create space for you to learn and get better. I'm holding you accountable for sure. We need to be held accountable, but we don't need to be held in unforgiveness, and we should not hold ourselves in unforgiveness.
Yes. Yes. And so, what would you say are the most common barriers to forgiveness? And being able to not hold it, and what are the most common things that happen?
That's a great question. I'm so glad you asked that question, Paula, because there are a few. One of the number one that I hear is that to forgive is to accept what was done to me. Now, I have to say, I have, as a life coach, I have heard many just heart-wrenching things that have happened to people. And I don't want to underplay those things. They are really, really things that pull on your heartstring. And you say, this should never happen to a person. Even those things, if we stand in unforgiveness, will dim our light and minimize the joy that we experience in this world. So, I'm speaking to the small offenses and those huge offenses that we would not want to happen to anybody. They both have their own level of difficulty in reaching a place of forgiveness, but they're equally important to do so. Number one that I hear is that if I forgive this particular person or this particular event, it is like me sanctioning it and saying that it was okay. Nothing could be further from the truth. To forgive is not to say that it was okay. Is not to say that I accept what you did as being as me deserving it. It's saying I will no longer allow the event to keep pulling me in and traumatizing me. It happened. It was unfortunate. I was hurt by it. We're acknowledging all of the things, but what we're doing is taking the opportunity for it to keep hurting us. It may take a while for it to go away, but we say, and that's another thing. Forgiveness is not a one and done. We'll get to that probably. So, number one is that forgiveness does not mean you're saying that it was okay for it to happen. Number two is people say, if I forgive an individual, it means that I want to reconcile with that individual. That's not true. I said earlier that forgiveness only takes you as the only participant to forgive. Reconciliation has to have to be an agreement between more than one party. You and the offender have to agree to reconcile for change behavior. The offender may not agree to the reconciliation. You may not want to agree to reconciliation. That's absolutely fine. That is not a barrier to forgiveness. You can practice forgiveness without reconciliation. We would love for reconciliation to be possible. In many cases, it may never be possible. It does not mean that you cannot forgive. You can be free and you can go on to forgive other things that so those are the top two that I hear. Another one that I hear a lot is people say, I don't forgive because it keeps me safe, right?
Oh,
It keeps me safe. If I keep that barrier of unforgiveness up, it keeps other acts of that kind from penetrating me. Nothing could be further from the truth. When we practice unforgiveness about a particular thing in our life, that means we're giving that thing attention. Our life is an attraction pattern. Our life moves in the directions of our most dominant thoughts. If we are holding on forgiveness, that means that's in our active consciousness. We're drawing more things in our life that are going to require our forgiveness. So we want to practice forgiveness. Say, I forgive that. I'm through with that. I'm in the process of being through with that, so that we can remove that energy from being the most dominant energy in our life. So those are some of the top areas that we see for practicing unforgiveness.
and would you say with doing that, that's going to open us up to gratitude and appreciation and positive outlook?
Absolutely. So that's the next level, right? Because when we talk about being grateful for things, right, the step to being grateful for things is that forgiveness component first. And it's really, as I mentioned earlier, forgiveness is like a ball and chain holding you back from experiencing the true joy and happiness of life. And joy and happiness in life occurs with gratitude. So forgiveness is keeping you in the shadows. It's not pushing you out into the sunlight of gratitude and experiencing all that that is. And so interesting, I had a conversation with a client a couple days ago, and they mentioned about gratitude and how they found it hard to find things to be grateful for. So we went back and we talked about the things they had that they were holding that they were not forgiving of. And there's a direct correlation between your degree of forgiveness and your degree of gratitude and your degree of happiness in life. So do that forgiveness work. You will not be sorry. I promise you, every area of your life, you will experience an increase in joy in your health, in your relationships, in your wealth. You'll just feel this falling off of shackles, if you will, because you're letting go of that unforgiveness ball and chain. It's letting you go through. So, yes, forgiveness precedes true gratitude, the intensity of true gratitude, because some of us are still practicing gratitude, but we're not getting the full intensity of it because we're still chained to unforgiveness.
Oh, I love it. That is a powerful statement. It really is. That is powerful. So is it possible at all to use stress to improve our life? How do we transition that?
Oh, I like that because we talk about stress and we talk about minimizing stress. What you'll never hear someone say is the elimination of stress because stress is part of this life experience. And not all stress is bad, right? We have the stress of planning a wedding, the stress of getting prepared for a new baby to arrive, the stress of moving. Those things, if wanted, are stressors, but they're happy stresses. And then we of course have those stresses that are for unwanted changes in our life. But we can use everything. And this is part of the everyday peace philosophy is that we use everything that shows up in our life, the wanted things and the unwanted things, to consciously pave the way to our next level of greatness in our life. So when stress shows up, first is to figure out where is it coming from? What is it? It doesn't have to always be anything big. I got stressed last night because I looked at the time and I looked at all the stuff I had to do. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. It was already after 9. It made me stressful. And then I had to stop in that moment and look and see, was I holding unforgiveness towards myself? And I was. You're moving too slow on this thing. I have to practice forgiveness for myself. I'm moving as fast as I possibly can. I ate junk food yesterday. That created stress in me. Okay, I forgive myself for eating the junk food. Let me get a strategy so I don't eat the junk food for tomorrow. You dig deep, do through self-awareness, find out where the stress is coming from. Right?
Oh,
Stress is like a computer virus. That virus has been in your computer for a long time before it starts to make your computer start to glitch, right?
wow.
And that's why we have this antivirus software that's in there looking for it. You be that antivirus software, that anti-stress software that does the body scans, looking for this little dis-ease in the body. Oh, I feel it there. I'm upset about this. And go within, become self-aware of it. Forgive yourself if you need to. Forgive other people if you need to, so it doesn't fester and gather steam and lead to an overhaul of needing to rebuild a day because stress has destroyed it for you.
Wow, that is powerful. That is powerful. And something that you've mentioned before is that I love is you've discussed recognizing our superpower. Talk a little bit about that because we all have superpowers, don't we?
We all have superpower, and your superpower is unique to you. Mine is unique to me, right? And that comes through self awareness. But recognize, what is that thing that you, maybe it's resilience, maybe and people have a resilient superpower and they don't even realize it. This is the one that I discover in a lot of my clients that they never unearth when they tell me their life's journey and all of the things that have happened to them. And I listen and we take notes and we go back. And I said, well, it seems like your superpower is resilience. That means that you have become the victor over all of these unfortunate circumstances that have occurred in your life. And I know that because you are telling me the story in retrospect. That happened. It was painful. It was unfortunate, but you overcame it so that you could tell me the story. Now, here's the next level to being resilient. Now you must learn to tell that story as a victor, as the superhero in the story, and not the victim. Because if you were the victim, someone else would be telling me the story about you instead of you telling me the story about how it happened. It came, you thought it was going to defeat you, it didn't defeat you, right? That's the protagonist, that's the hero's journey. You did it. So that's a superpower right there. So really, really become aware. Look at your life and say, these things happen. What am I using? How is this happening for me? Maybe I'm a people magnet because I have such a great personality. I always draw the right person into my life at the right time. Whatever it is unique to you. But self-awareness is so important. And it's just a matter of spending a few minutes with yourself uninterrupted to ask yourself a simple question. How are you doing today? And wait for the answer. And no matter what the answer is, say, tell me more about that. Really, why is that? Keep digging and digging and digging until you get to the root cause of you, the foundation of you. You'll be surprised what you find there. I'm certain that you'll fall in love with yourself.
Oh, what a powerful message. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. On your website, you have a free 7-day mini course. Tell everyone about that, would you? How exciting.
Oh, is this the mini course that talks about self-esteem and
Mm-hmm.
self-confidence and how to obtain them? These are just tools. I hear people tell me all the time, I don't have any self-esteem. I don't have any self-confidence. Darling, that is just a tool. That's a skill that can be taught. Surely some people come into the world, they're more magnanimous, they're more optimistic, they're more positive, they're more we can, self-confidence, self-esteem can be taught. It can be practiced. And it is a very necessary tool to have in your toolbox of things that you use to get you through life, to thrive through life. So I encourage you that it's free to grab onto that, take notes. You can retake it as often as you want to and make it part of your daily practice. If you feel like you have great self-esteem, you have great self-confidence, pass it on to someone who you know will use it. It's gentle and it's very usable and very usable. Practical is the word I'm looking for. Very practical tools.
Oh boy, I am so grateful for all you do for so many with that, with all the amazing shows you do, your amazing books. Oh my gosh. Please share with everyone your website and kind of what is the last message? What theme do you want to end with today? We have about 3 minutes left. And what message you want to share as we finish up today?
Well, great. Thank you for asking for my website. It's drdravonjames.com. And I encourage you visit that website. You can contact me on the website there if you have questions, if you want to be part of a group coaching session that we're doing. So visit that website. You'll be happy what you find there. The message that I would like to leave with everyone today is you are enough. You have enough and you know enough to begin an effective forgiveness practice today. And I am certain that it will augment every area of your life for more joy, more peace, more happiness. Forgiveness will not harm you. Forgiveness will help you.
Oh, And that's huge, and that's huge. Oh, and there was something that I read that I wanted to share. I just loved it. Is you said something in regards to surround yourself with people who magnify your gratitude. What what did you exactly mean by that? That just sounds amazing to me.
Yes, so sometimes we get a choice on who we pick in our circle, sometimes we don't. But when given the choice, you're looking for people who see the good in you. Not that they excuse the areas that need to be corrected, because a true friend, a true mentor will point those out to you as well, but not in such a way that they mean to drag you down. Right? You're looking for people who can look into you and see the best in you, who see possibility in you, who see greatness in you. And you're looking to do that to other people. Right? You want to be a shining light for them. And a shining light is not a person who just says, "Oh, you can do horrible things all day long. I'm not going to mention that to you." It's the person who says, "You're an amazing person. You're an amazing person." Right? I saw this and I think you would love to do this or to be seen this way, and give you an opportunity. I don't judge you for that. I don't hold that against you. I'm still going to love you. So you're looking, when you get a choice to bring somebody into your personal space, pick people who choose to see the best in you.
Yeah, yeah. And isn't it isn't it amazing how it can affect us when we share kindness and positivity and caring and all of that with someone else and help them shine and increase their gratitude. It affects us. It does.
Yes. That's the art of giving, right? Because when you give to someone, you're actually giving to yourself. And even if that individual turns around and, my mother said, used to have a phrase, bite the hand that feeds you. So let's say, and I get this all the time, you do good for somebody else, and then they turn around, they criticize you, that's okay. The good that you did for them, the gratitude that you showed them, the appreciation that you showed them, that energy invokes or envelops you, so you're wrapped up in that goodness, that kindness.
Yes.
So you continue to do it, you continue to do good, you continue to show appreciation, and you are in turn showing that to yourself. You will eventually attract people who show up in your life and show you appreciation and kindness and gratitude.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Dravon. That is so wonderful. Well, let's say goodbye and let's just put that out there and let's just have a big kindness bubble. I love it. You are so
Yes, that's
amazing.
the way to go.
Thank you for these amazing books and all you do for others. I am so grateful. And everybody out there, thank you so much for joining us. Bye.